Good evening. Afternoon? Good afternoon. I'm Mother Jessica. I'm the rector here at St. Anne's. We are so delighted to have you all. Thank you for coming out. Catherine, Reed, and Hajan have been working so hard to be able to provide this offering. We are just delighted. Thank you three for all the hard work that you've put in and for gracing us with your gift and your talent. A couple announcements. We'll make sure everyone has a program in hand. If not, there are a few more out here. Also, if you can silence your devices. Every so often we'll have an event and a device will go off, and especially in a musical event, we really want to keep the sound to those that are intended. And then we just encourage you to settle in and close your eyes if that's most comfortable, or watch them and just allow this musical offering to really nourish your soul. They have been so blessed by God individually in so many ways, and it's just a delight for you all to share your talent with us. So without further ado.
Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. Ein Märchen aus alten Zeiten, das kommt mir nicht aus dem Sinn. Die Luft ist kühl und es dunkelt und ruhig fließt der Rhein. Der Gipfel des Berges funkelt im Abendsonnenschein. Die schönste Jungfrau sitzend dort oben wunderbar. Ihr goldenes Geschmeide blitzet, sie kämmt ihr goldenes Haar. Sie kämmt es mit goldenen Kamme und singt ein Lied dabei. Das hat eine wundersame, gewaltige Melodie. Denn Schiffe im kleinen Schiffe, gleitet mit wildem Weh. Schaut nicht die Felsenriffe, schaut nur hinauf in die Höhe. Ich glaube, die Wellen verschlingen am Ende Fisch und Kahn. Und das hat mit ihrem Singen die Lorelei getan. Und das hat mit ihrem Singen die Lorelei getan.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks again so much for coming. This is such an amazing turnout. We're all super thrilled to see so many people that we do know and some that we don't know. So yeah, thanks again. Welcome. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we just heard, what you're going to hear. So we're starting off the program with a couple of sets of songs and romances by Clara Schumann. So this first set that we just heard, in 1840, Clara Schumann gifted her then husband, Robert Schumann. Were they married at that point? They were, okay. A set of 3 songs, and we just heard 2 of those. Liebst du in Schönheit and Eriska Komen were among those 3 songs that she gifted to Robert. And he was so delighted to hear these songs that he insisted that they publish a volume of Lieder together. And this was a pretty daring endeavor at the time, and it kind of highlights this Romantic era trend of the men and women, husband and wife, being equal in marriage rather than the woman being subservient. And Clara, as you may or may not know, was a really renowned virtuoso pianist in her time. She played all of her own works, premiered her own works, toured her own works, and you can tell from listening to the piano part that the wonderful Heijin just played, how virtuosic these works really are. So we're going to move on now, and I'm going to play a little bit of music again by Clara Schumann, like I mentioned, and this is her Opus 22 set of 3 romances for violin and piano. So these were written a bit later in 1853, but they were written for the 22-year-old Joseph Joachim, who is a very famous violinist that a lot of musicians will recognize that name. He was a very impressive pianist or violinist. He caught her attention, and they actually formed a kind of lifelong friendship relationship. Joachim wrote in a letter to Brahms calling Clara a God-gifted woman and wonderful musician. So they had a lot of mutual respect. And the 2 of them, Clara and Joachim, toured these 3 romances all around Europe for many years. So hope you enjoy.
There are 3 movements to this, so hold your applause until the very last movement. It'll be worth it.
This next set is by Rebecca Clark. Rebecca Clark is one of the most under-recognized and yet truly profound composers in Western canon, my personal opinion. She became one of the first female composition students enrolled at the Royal College of Music in 1907. She studied with Sir Charles Stamford, who we perform pretty frequently as St. Anne's, so that might be a familiar name. In her lifetime, she was well known as a talented viola player, although as her works have gained more academic scholarship and popularity, today she's more renowned as for her compositional achievement. As a composer, she's primarily known for her viola sonata, her piano trio, and her art songs. Although as much as 50% of her compositional output is actually unpublished, her family still holds the rights to it, and so we, the public, are actively waiting for the rest of her works to come to the light of day. In her memoirs, she reflects how her relationship with her abusive father and her journey with depression affected her compositional career and her music. And in her work, The Seal Man, which we're about to perform, she channels the darker psyche of her experiences powerfully into a musical language. While she's a contemporary of Holst, Vaughan Williams, Debussy, and Ravel, her musical vocabulary is uniquely her own. She often uses rich and dense harmonic texture to express herself, and frequently uses changing meters to keep the flow of the text. Here, Rebecca Clark's settings of John Masefield's poetry are truly a tour de force, and we hope you enjoy them.
And he came by her cabin to the west of the road, calling. There was a strong laugh came up in her at that, and she put down her sewing on the table, and mother, she says, there's no lock and no key and no bolt and no door. There's no iron nor no stone nor anything at all will keep me this night from the man I love. And she went out into the moonlight to him. There by the bush where the flowers is pretty, beyond the river. And he says to her, you are all of the beauty of the world. Will you come where I go over the waves of the sea? And she says to him, my treasure and my strength, she says, I would follow you on the frozen hills, my feet bleeding. Then they went down into the sea together, and the moon made a track on the sea, and they walked wasn't a man at all. She was drowned, of course. It's like he never thought that she wouldn't bear the sea like himself. She was drowned. The twilight comes, the sun dips down and sets. The boys have done play at the nets in a warm golden glow. The woods are steeped, the shadows grow, the bat has cheeped, sweet smells the new mown hay. The mowers pass home, each his way through the grass. The night wind stirs the fern, a night just beams. The windows burn in the inns. Dusky it grows, the moon, the dews descend. Love, can this beauty in our hearts?
We're going to take a 10-minute intermission, so if you need some water, if you need to use the restroom, go ahead, take a moment, and then we will reconvene and do this all over again.
Yeah, I can tell you're going through it. I mean, leave it all out there, right? Yeah. That sounds really good. It felt
I could see
gets mic'd to the whole.
Standing back in the fall, I can't really hear it all from the sides.
Sounds good.
understand that we ran out of bulletins. If you want a bulletin, we have more. Raise your hand. Raise your hand and I will get you a bulletin.
I can start tuning and that might help. Quiet.
Before we start our second half, I would be remiss if I didn't give a couple shout outs and thank yous. This has been a massive undertaking. I'm incredibly grateful to be joined by Reed Trevelyan, who many of you are very familiar with at this point. He's practically the St. Anne's violinist. Adrian Kim, who is newer to at least my nonsense, but is an absolute delight to work with and an incredibly talented pianist. So, I also wanted to give a shout out to the St. Anne's office staff and Rob to help put together the programs. We do have extras. Mother Jess was going around, so if you are they all gone? They might. Okay. Does anyone else need a program? Are we good? We good on programs? Okay. So it was a team effort to get programs ready for today. It's a lot of German, a lot of French, and a lot of aligning and formatting, and it was very gracious of St. Anne's to help with that effort. So I wanted to thank that as well. You'll note on your program on the very back, there's a QR code. So if you didn't bring cash and you still want to donate to the food pantry, I just wanted to say that our food pantry actually gives, we support almost 200 families a month with our donations. And so we try to really give back to our community. It's a big part of our mission, and it's part of what inspired our desire to do a concert here and to support that mission. So if you feel inclined, please feel inclined to give generously. You can donate with the QR code. What else did I want to say? I also have some notes about Cécile Chaminade, who we're about to hear from. So, Cécile Chaminade was born in 1857 in France. She was the daughter of musicians. Georges Bizet, the composer from Carmen, was a family friend who, after hearing her perform her own compositions at age 8, recommended that she study music formally. Her father disapproved, as he assumed that she would become a housewife without a need for a musical education. He was wrong. Through life, she composed more than 400 pieces. She toured the United States in 1908 with great popularity, including in Washington, D.C. and in Baltimore. She played her own works and inspired the creation of hundreds of chaminade clubs, many of which still today and actively promote women composers and performers. In 1913, she was the first woman to receive the Légion d'honneur, the highest French order of merit. At age 44, she married music publisher Louis-Mathieu Carbonel, although it was always considered a marriage of convenience. And I bring this up specifically because of the pieces we're about to sing. So she considered the union platonic, the two lived apart. He primarily accompanied her on concert tours, helped her to secure safe lodgings, and when he died of lung disease, she did not remarry. There's not enough source material for me to distinctly say what Cécile Chaminade's orientation was. But I will say, it's incredibly interesting to me that she wrote a love song about a woman to the words of a female lyricist in this time. So it was 1903. I find that really special. And so I just wanted to celebrate that. It's an unlikely combination, and I hope you enjoy both Menuet and Portrait by Cécile Chaminade. So I'm gonna get water. I'll just keep this up here.
Thank you.
She was born in 1867 in New Hampshire. She was another child prodigy, proficient at singing, playing the piano, composition, all before she was 10. And then her parents recognized her talent, and she ended up studying piano with Karl Bergmann, who is a name that I don't think is really remembered today, but he was a student of Franz Liszt. So that's a pretty interesting lineage. So she was a performer, a composer, and had a kind of breakout moment in 1892 with her Mass in E flat, also her Gaelic Symphony in 1896. Those were very well-received pieces. They sort of catapulted her to prominence as one of America's foremost composers, let alone a female composer. And she was by far the most successful American female composer of the period. She was even went so far as to be inducted into a group known as the Boston Six, which was a group of prominent American composers at the time, including John Knowles Paine and Arthur Foote, if you've heard of those names. So what we're going to play now is Amy Beach's Romance for Violin and Piano. It was written and premiered in 1893, written for Beach's friend and violin virtuoso Maud Powell. She was a prominent violin soloist in the United States who premiered both the Tchaikovsky and Sibelius violin concertos on this side of the Atlantic. So, hope you enjoy.
is I didn't write out my thank yous, so I've forgotten a couple people the first time around. So I'm gonna try to get everybody this time. I also want to thank my husband who came to set up all of these cameras and microphones, and Gary, who also came early to help with AV tech. I would like to thank Eileen Ellis and the entire Java Junction team for volunteering their time and efforts with the reception that's to come. I'd also like to thank the generosity of the Kovar family, who donated a lot of the reception food from the funeral yesterday to enjoy for us today. So there's a lot of folks that have helped to make this happen, and for St. Anne's for hosting us, and all of the announcements and bulletin reminders and everything. So it's really been a treat. We hope you'll stick around and enjoy the reception afterwards. I just have a couple notes about the pieces we're about to sing. For me, Opus 44, where are my notes? I want to say it was published, it was 1904? But I feel that this first piece is Amy Beach. It's her prayer for a better world, to me. That's what it reads like, that's what it feels like this year at the spring. And then the second piece is really a reflection that I feel particularly resonates in our times when we have such turbulent times that we're in. She's able to put her finger on the pulse of this tension that I think is really relatable. And then the last two pieces are just to send you off with something really beautiful. So enjoy.
The years of the spring and days of the fall, mornings at 7, the hillsides do cold. The years of the spring and days of the fall, the larks on the wing, the snails on the thorn, God's in His love, God's in His love, whose praise which flows